where the music don't stop.
I love this station.
88.2 Sanyu FM.
I'm Crystal. Joining me on Celeb Select is the vocal powerhouse. I think one of the best voices to come out of Uganda.
Stop.
LILIAN Mbabazi is here with me today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Crystal. It's good to be here. It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I've
You're
not
a
been
busy
to Sunny
lady,
in a
though.
minute. Yeah.
It's not easy to get a hold of you.
I'm glad I finally made it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? You look great.
Thank you.
Give me some tips. You look so amazing.
When people ask me that, I'm always like, swimming? Does that help?
No, it actually helps a lot. That's one of my
one
things.
Of those things. I don't know. I do it for relaxation as well, just to get away from all the drama.
Swimming is an all-round exercise for anyone who wants to stay in shape.
So let's go right back to the beginning.
Yes.
I want to hear a whole lot from you right now. Where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Uganda, not far from here actually, Wandegea. Yeah, we used to live next to the mosque.
Okay.
And
Wandegea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, man. And I used to walk to school every day, to Uganda Road Primary School, with that heavy bag on my back. I had no idea what was in, but those bags were always heavy. Yeah.
It's amazing that we're able to walk straight.
Dude,
today.
that's why we don't even sit straight sometimes. I have to remind myself to sit straight.
Yeah.
But I grew up in, around town and went to Uganda Road. And from there, after I finished my P7, went to Kigali, where I did a 2-year stint in secondary school there. I became a bit of a headache to my mom.
What were you up to?
I liked music, and I did any opportunity to sneak out and go watch a band or perform. I took advantage of it, and I was really young, so she was really worried.
How young are we talking?
Talking about 11, 12 years old.
What?
Yeah.
What?
12, 13,
So you were already on stage performing at 11?
I wanted to. One time my cousins convinced me that we should go and perform. There's a place which was near home. It's called Cercle Sportif. People who live in Rwanda know it. So there was this day, is it Rwanda National Day or something? Something was happening. And my friends and cousins convinced me to go and sing I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Little did I know this was showing live on TV. Now, we had escaped from home. My mom is sitting there. She's watching TV. My dad, my uncles, and they're like, Isn't that Lillian? It was the most confusing thing. The next day I was on a bus to Uganda. Boarding school. That was the end of that. Yeah.
How was boarding school? Did you make some good friends from that time?
I actually did. I have friends that are still close to me till today. Yeah. One of my best friends, I know her since senior 2. And then some I know from Rwanda. The time I studied in Rwanda, I know them from senior 1 till today.
So where did you go for boarding school?
I went to St. Peter's in Zambia for like a term. It was the shortest time I was there. It was so terrible. Okay, no disrespect to the school, but for me it was like a difference coming from Rwanda. I'm used to day school, then you're thrown in St. Peter's in Zambia. You have nobody that you know there. It was really hectic for me, but I didn't like the school that much, so I moved to St. Lawrence, where I finished my senior 4. Then I went to Kaboja. That's where I finished my senior 6. Yeah.
Okay. So, school out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about music, because clearly you must have started like when you were running around.
I've always known that music is a big part of my life. It's not a shock that I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Not even to my family, because they saw the passion that I had. As soon as I finished my senior 6, I went out looking for gigs in Rwanda. I got a band that I used to perform with every Friday and Saturday, and I was 18 years old. And then I got a hotel to actually pay me to sing on their nights as well. Milkolin, yes. So I used to sing there. If you go there today, where I used to perform, my cutout of Blue 3 is still there till today. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I wanted to be...
So you've always wanted to sing, that was in your heart, in your soul.
It's my friends would get irritated because I would wake up on Sunday. In school I was born again. So I wake up singing all those. It is. But I used to wake up and sing all these hymns, and they'd be like, Lillian, we get it, you have a nice voice, please, can we sleep? Stop it already, yeah. So
okay, so I'm going to ask you for your first request right now. It's a request show, and we want to know a little bit about the kind of music you like. So, which one are you going for?
I want to go for Sam Smith. There's something about his music that moves me. It's very deep. It's like when Adele first came out. So I love the song called Not the Only One. It speaks to me.
It's vulnerable, and it's
such a sensitive song.
You know, when you say it speaks to me, people are like,
It does. It does. Not only musically, but also the lyric of the song. It's an amazing song.
Okay, so here is Lilian Mbabazi's first request today on Celeb Select. I'm not the only one. Sam Smith. Fantastic song from Sam Smith. I'm not the only one on 88.2 Sanyu FM. I have the beautiful Lilian Mbabazi here with me right now on Celeb Select.
Yay!
And we're talking about how music has been part of your life, I think, for so long.
It has.
Now, you said you started, in Rwanda, you were singing in a band.
Yes.
And then you had nights where you're being paid at a hotel. How did you make that transition? Did you do, because, you are a live artist,
yes,
which is beautiful because so many people get on stage, try to perform live, and it's a disaster. But you just seem to be getting stronger and stronger.
Well, it's also called practice because we didn't perform with a live band that often.
Did you know each other a little bit?
No, I actually didn't know any of the girls. I'd seen Cindy on that Coca-Cola Real Stars thing that they had before. But I didn't know her personally. So we actually became friends as time went along when we went to Nairobi for boot camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
we
about
stayed
Jackie?
there for like a week. Jackie was very reserved back in the day. She was very quiet and you could never really tell what was on her mind. Yeah. She really opened up later when we had come as Blue 3 now. Yeah.
So it's so interesting how she was so reserved back in the day, but when she was on stage, she became this beast. I
always thought that she has her own Sasha Fierce thing going on because she's like two different people, one off stage and one on stage. Yeah, but I love her energy.
It's amazing. Now, I've seen you perform live so many times, especially with the Sundowners.
Yeah.
And you're one of those people, it's seamless for you. You're very comfortable on stage. You're always cracking the jokes. You're just funny. Everyone is just dying of laughter half the time. So I'm guessing you don't even need an MC when you have big shows.
I didn't have an MC for my big show for the 21st because I thought that I should break that chain of everyone having someone introduce them on stage and what. It didn't make sense to me. I thought that the show should start with me.
And it was, truly close to the concept, which was up close and personal.
Yeah.
It was very intimate. Now, before we got to that big show, right, as Blue 3, what were your challenges? In the beginning, what were you expecting?
Well, we expected quick money, quick fame. The fame came, the money took a long time. It came slowly because, you're three girls and, you're trying to build a brand. And, of course, the fact that we're three girls who are trying to get to know each other, we had clashes all the time. This one has stolen my boots, this one has stolen my... It was the little fights that always made us uncomfortable. But Steve always came out and told us, are you in this business to become friends or to... be successful. So we realized we don't really have to be friends to work together. Everyone can meet when it's time to work and live separate lives after that.
And be professional.
Yeah, and be professional about it.
So do you credit Blue 3 for being your launch pad?
Exactly. No, so much. I went through so much with Blue 3. It's one of those things that can never get off me. It will always be a part of me. I'll always be a part of Blue 3 no matter what.
Are there any special moments that you hold dear from that time?
Yes, I remember we used to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And when we used to travel, Steve Jean always made us sing at what do they call it? Airports and what, when we travel. Because we traveled most of these countries. We've been to Benin, Ghana, Nigeria. We had traveled most of Africa.
A lot of people don't know that?
Yeah. We had.
Wow.
We sang at the opening of the African Cup of Nations in Ghana. So we used to travel a lot. And there's a particular song we used to sing every time we're just waiting in the lounge, the Africa by Toto. It's gonna take a lot to drive me away from you. So we used to harmonize it and people would surround us and they would be like, wow, where are you guys from? And we're like, yeah, we're from Uganda. And Steve was like, yeah, that's how you market yourself, because you would film them and put short clips on the internet. So yeah, I miss singing with the girls. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the downside though of being part of a girl group? Apart from the little squabbles here and there?
Yeah. Well, we were groomed to be a pop group. And for me, I am not a pop singer.
Okay.
You know, the pop music we used to do. Okay, yes, I loved it, but it was not me. And as you can clearly see, it was not Cindy, because she's totally different artist right now. I think the only poppy person we had was Jackie. Jackie's a pop. She's a proper, you know, Beyonce kind of music. So I think that was a challenge, finding who we are as artists, as musicians.
Because you found yourselves as a group, but individually.
Individually. It took us separating to find out who we actually are as musicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned Africa, and that's one of your requests by Toto.
Yes.
So we kind of have an idea why you like that song.
Yes.
Do you remember when you first heard it?
It's been around for a long time. That song has been around. It's just a good song to harmonize. I remember we used to harmonize it really, really well. And yeah,
you're like,
fun memories.
This song,
yeah,
we got it down.
We used to do it so well.
So here it is right now from Toto, Africa.
Yeah.
So no one felt like, okay, they were being left behind. Because I imagine, you know, maybe one person is like, okay, it's time, and the other two are like, no.
It was difficult to actually break off. And when I got pregnant with Asante, that's when they knew that was it. Because I was not going to now go back to music. I was just going to take some time off, and I didn't think it was fair for them to wait for me. So I told them to, you know, go ahead and do something. Groups always go solo and come back together and do stuff together. So I always envisioned that's what would happen eventually after some time.
That's beautiful. I mean, I've always done the same thing. You have a child, take some time off, you know. Because, I mean, the first few years are the most important years.
I had no clue what to do with a child, so I needed the time, all the time. I needed,
How old is Asante now?
Asante will be 6 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your little one?
Izuba is going to be 2 next month.
2.
Yeah.
She's a cutie pie.
Thank you. She's such a diva, though.
How did, well, they always are. She's a baby. How did motherhood change your life?
I was a party girl. I loved to go out back in the day. Like, I literally go out every day of the week if I could. And having that responsibility and that other person to look after, it changes you and humbles you in a certain way that you don't expect. And you realize, this person, if I die today, they depend on me. This is me. I'm supposed to take care of them. So I kind of, you know, calmed down and became a mother. Yeah, I stopped being
that became the priority.
Yes, I stopped being that person who wants to just, you know, what's happening, what's the program. I don't even attend half of the functions. Yeah. I find it so hectic. I'm like, I could use that time to sleep. It's so hectic.
Oh, precious sleep.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going mad
sleep.
half the time.
I love sleep. Yeah. So
are you one of those people, like, in the middle of the day you can just conk out? Totally,
for 5 hours. I can. If I could.
That's such a gift.
Yeah, I can sleep at any time. Right now, I could sleep. If you tell me relax, I would be able to sleep.
Now, let's talk about your baby's daddy.
Oh, no.
How did you guys actually start dating?
Was back in the day. I think they just released what's this song? Nakudata. Yeah. And it started out very unserious, and when the child came, it became serious. So it became more serious. But I know we've been through our ups and downs, and he has his own life that he leads now, and I have my own life. I know people saw pictures recently and were like, "Oh my God, this guy is back together."
You know, I have to ask you about that, because
I went to perform. I went to perform. He was there. You don't expect me to, like, you know, show him doors. You know, I'm not going to push him away just because, you know, we're not having anything together anymore. But guys blew it out of proportion.
You're on very civil terms.
Very civil terms. We don't have that kind of relationship that people think we have. But at the same time, we have kids together.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So that's the most important thing, because you want them to have their father and their mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so motherhood changed your life, and then you got back into music, and then your sound became very, very distinct.
Thank you.
How did you find yourself?
It took a while. It took a minute. I did all sorts of songs before, and I think it's just general growth that you go through as you experience life, and you start writing differently, you start singing differently, and also performing with a live band, it helped grow my voice. It made it stronger and, you know, more dynamic. So, yeah.
How is it being part of the band? Because you've been together for a couple of years now.
Coming to 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah.
So that's like a family.
It is my family. I love those guys to death. Yeah, I have a bassa who plays my drums, and he is an original member. I've been with him since the beginning of the band.
And he's also madly
And he's
talented.
an amazing singer. He's producing my new album.
What?
Yeah, and it sounds so dope.
When can we expect that? How long do you have to wait?
We have been recording for 2 months now, so hopefully before the end of July.
Okay, before
I'll have
that.
an album put together that's completely mastered and mixed.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
soon. So we're looking at like a month, right?
Yes.
Right about a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Paul Mayanja is also an original member. He's been with me for 5 years now. We have Mute, who plays my electric guitar. He's been in the band, I think, for 3 years.
Okay.
And then we have a new member who joined us a year ago.
Okay.
He plays our bass because our bass guitarist had to travel to Nairobi, so we lost him and we got a new bass player. Yeah.
Okay.
And honest.
Okay, shout out to the family.
Shout out to the Sundowners.
You
Yeah.
guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I was asking you about like, you know, being part of the band and all of that. I mean, do you feel that it's also helped you in terms of like just coming out as a solo artist?
It definitely has. My strongest point is live music, and without these guys, I wouldn't know how to do it. They have helped me grow because they're very musical guys. They're young, but they're very musical. They always give me ideas of how we can play my music, how we can change things, and how I can sing things. It's an amazing experience. I always tell musicians that I meet, they think I want to brag, but I'm not bragging. If you are a serious vocalist, and if you think you want to be a musician who wants to, you know, just build something more to their craft, not just go to some bar and sing over your songs.
Jump around on stage.
Anyone can do that, to be honest. But if you want to set yourself aside, I always advise musicians to, you know, try a live band. You might not get it the first time. I didn't. But as you do it more and more, you get better. And I always tell them that.
And that translates in the studio as well.
It definitely does. You become stronger. You get more knowledgeable about music and notes and what key you're in. Some musicians don't even know what keys they sing in.
I know.
Yeah. So I didn't know those things, but I learned them as I went, you know, as I played with my band for all these years. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you for your next request. You asked for a Sauti Soul song.
Yes.
Why this one?
Sauti Soul. First of all, they're my favorite boy band in East Africa, without a
Ooh.
doubt. They're also my friends. But this song in particular, I felt it had a very heavy message, and it had a beautiful message, and also their voices are amazing.
Oh, this is a beautiful
Nerea.
song. I have a LILIAN MBABAZI, the awesome
hey,
LILIAN
hey.
MBABAZI, talking about music, talking about
Music.
babies, and talking about life in general.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your inspiration, where do you draw your inspiration from?
My life, I draw inspiration from my life. I draw inspiration from family, my friends, people going through situations. I hear the situation and I feel I want to write it. And I always like to write also, you know, uplifting music. This new album has some of that music, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now you see. Now we can't wait. We want you to give us a little tiny bit. Just tell us a little bit about it.
About
the
this
new
album.
Mhm.
Well, I will call it my it's like me. I'll call it African Soul. That's what I want to call the album, African Soul, because it's soul music, but it's a bit retro.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Some of the music or some of the beats or some of the sounds will remind you of a time that, you know, you fell in love with music, like say the 90s or the 80s, but combined with fusion of today and
Okay.
Ugandan. So I don't know how to
That
explain
sounds
it.
really exciting.
You just have to listen to the music to know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give you a sneak peek before I leave.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so in terms of like other musicians in Uganda right now, who do you think, you know, who are you impressed by? Who would you like to work with? Maybe you haven't yet worked with.
I'm very impressed by many artists. I've always thought that me and Navio, it's a shame we have not done a song till today.
Thank you.
Because he's one of the guys I've known like from way back. And
So we can expect that to change.
yes, I think so. He's been a busy man as well. So hopefully we'll get into studio one of these days. With Maurice Kiri as well, we've been planning to do something together. So much pressure. And for the females, I would like to work with Rema.
Okay.
I think her voice is very interesting,
I
and
love her voice.
yes, and I think that we would be able to do some nice music together with a great
Okay.
collaboration. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that we're doing well in terms of our music industry in Uganda right now?
I think we're better than before, but we have gotten comfortable. I don't know if how to say that.
Okay.
Like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So we have this sound that if you don't have that sound, your song is not a hit.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Do you think
So
people are afraid of trying something new?
I have a feeling that could be it. Yeah, but you know what? The music is still good. The music is still good, and you know, if it gets people up and dancing, why not?
Being a celebrity and a musician,
Yeah.
you've had to have your life in the tabloids. You've had heartbreak in the tabloids. How do you handle that?
I don't buy papers.
Okay, that's one way of going on.
I don't buy newspapers, you know, unless, you know, someone tells me there's this that has happened. I do not read newspapers. Maybe online, and I try to avoid, like, if I see a story about me, I probably won't read it.
Okay.
I'll probably just move on, because if it's going to write about the fact I read somewhere that I'm pregnant with my third child. I was like,
Again, I mean, yeah.
really?
Like,
Like, where
"Ooh."
do they come up with these stories? Like, honestly, so you ignore them. After 11 years of being in this industry, like, you can't break me anymore.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of being in the industry for this long, I mean, what's your mantra? Have you had some really tough times that have defined you as a musician right now?
Yeah, the breaking up of Blue 3 was a very tough time for all of us. And basically trying to become a female artist who everybody respects without having to relate to Blue 3. Now they know you as a person. It was a very big challenge for me. But I always believe in a positive mind. I believe that, you know, what you put out to the universe is what you get. You know, if you're going to quarrel and have all this negative vibe, that's all you're going to get. You're going to get negative energy. So I believe in giving out positivity and knowing that no situation is permanent, and knowing that I'm going to be in a better place tomorrow. That gives me encouragement every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And of course, now when you get up, you have your beautiful babies.
Oh, wonderful babies. I love my children.
Okay, well, thank you so very much for coming in.
Thank you for having
Unfortunately,
me.
we're out of time.
Yeah.
Now, to all the people out there, and especially all the artists, you know, who are struggling, who are trying to rise up,
Yeah.
what do you advise?
I just say that it's a lot of hard work. The amount of work you put in is what you're going to reap. You know, you have to be patient. Nothing comes overnight. There are some musicians who get their fame overnight and, you know, they become a sensation. But, you know, sometimes it may not happen to you. You just have to be patient. Your time is your time. So
Okay.
you have to wait for it.
And do you think it's very, very important how someone portrays themselves, like on social media, the
Yeah.
public persona?
Yes.
Because you
I
see
see
a lot
lots of people
losing-
writing on social media, like, I'm like, this guy is, what is going on? Like, I will never rant. You'll never find me ranting on any social media page. It's, if I want to talk about something, I will talk about it between my friends. I have educated friends who have brains, and we can discuss this rather than putting it on Facebook where anybody can just say whatever they want. And sometimes people can really be mean on social media. So you have to protect that part of you a lot. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I
Yeah.
think that's really important. So, since we're done with our interview,
Yes.
I'll ask you for your last song, your last request. Which one is it?
I'd like you to play for my people, my fans out there. The latest video I put out about 2 months ago. It's with Orezi from Nigeria, and it's called Only You.
How did you two meet? How did you start working together? Just really quickly.
Believe it or not, via SMS, like, you know, you get contacts. Someone says, oh, this guy, you know, I have a contact for someone in Nigeria. You contact them. Would you like to work? They Google your music. You Google their music. Next thing you know, you're doing a song. That was it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here it is, and it's a beautiful song.
Thank